From the Joel Embiid versus Russell Westbrook feud to Draymond Green's argument that cost the Warriors the finals, here are the NBA's most heated moments revealed. We all love good team spirit on the court, but in moments of anger, do some players really play out their dirty tricks? The Joel Embiid versus Russell Westbrook feud started in the final moments of a game between Westbrook's Thunders and Embiid's 76ers back in 2019. Embiid fouled Westbrook on a fast break, sending both of them crashing to the floor. It was pretty brutal. But instead of bouncing right back up, the two started tumbling around on the ground. They rolled around for a good 15 seconds, probably trying to find their lost marbles. And just when you thought it couldn't get any crazier, Westbrook suddenly sprung up like a jack-in-the-box, ready to charge at Embiid. Thankfully, his teammates swooped in to prevent an all-out brawl. After the dust settled, Westbrook made it crystal clear that he believed Embiid's foul was downright dirty. And this whole Westbrook-Embiid feud didn't end there. Nope, it's still going strong and has become one of the league's most entertaining rivalries, keeping fans on the edge of their seats, wondering what crazy antics will happen next. Can't wait to see what unfolds in the next episode of Westbrook vs. Embiid. But I don't think the craziness here holds a flame to the events of the Rockets vs. Lakers brawl in 2018. The fight took place during the opening night for LeBron James and his new team, the Lakers, at Staples Center. It was an epic showdown against the Rockets. But sadly, the Lakers couldn't quite pull it off and ended up losing 124-115. But that's not the juiciest part. Just when you thought it was all about LeBron's home debut, a wild brawl erupted toward the end of the game, stealing the spotlight from King James himself. Even the usually calm and collected Chris Paul and Brandon Ingram got caught up in the chaos. In the end, the Rockets walked away with the victory, showing off their gritty skills. LeBron did manage to put up 24 points though, so props to him. But let's talk about the aftermath of this madness. Paul, Rondo, and Ingram all got the boot from the game and were suspended for their part in the brawl. The suspensions came with a heavy price tag, especially for Paul, who got hit with a whopping fine of $491,782. Being the president of the NBA Players Association didn't save him from the consequences. Rondo wasn't spared either, and was docked a total of $186,207. As for Ingram, his wallet is a bit lighter now with a fine of $158,816. The court is full of drama, but these players don't cool down off it either. Carmelo Anthony and Kevin Garnett actually got into a heated fight after the game ended. In 2013, the Celtics were facing off against the Knicks. As soon as the game ended, the drama began. Anthony, the Knicks' star player, was fuming with anger towards Garnett, who has a reputation for stirring things up on the court. Apparently, Melo was so furious that he took it upon himself to station outside the Celtics' locker room. And get this, he even hung around by their team bus later on. Now, not many people witnessed this whole showdown, but luckily, there was a video. And what did the footage show? Well, it captured Anthony, surrounded by NBA security guards, a bunch of cops, and a whole crowd of onlookers. And just when you thought things couldn't get any crazier, guess who shows up? Rajon Rondo, of all people, sneaks into the frame and starts one of his famous staring contests. But we're not exactly sure what Melo had in mind. Did he want to confront Garnett? We can only speculate because he didn't spill the beans to the media afterward. And as for Garnett, he brushed it off like it was no big deal, saying it's all just part of the game. Was it though? Their heated showdown said otherwise. Sure, the players get pretty angry, but when their parents get involved, things tend to blow a little out of proportion. I'm talking about when LeVar Ball stepped in to fight for his son in the Sixers vs. Lakers 2017 game. Lonzo Ball's dad showed up in Philadelphia, and to say it was eventful is a huge understatement. Ball decided to pay a visit to the Wells Fargo Center to catch the Sixers-Lakers game. And what do you know? His son Lonzo came through with a clutch assist in the final moments, securing the Lakers' 107-104 victory over the Sixers. But the real fun began after the game. It was like a whole circus rolled into town. Ball was in his jam, waving his arms around and getting the crowd all hyped up. He knows how to put on a show, that's for sure. Around that time, his father was spotted roaming around the depths of the arena, exploring every nook and cranny. And we all know it's never a good idea when fathers do that. Lonzo Sr. then openly criticized the Lakers coaching staff, creating tension between him and the team. This feud had everyone talking, with players and coaches weighing in on the drama, and LeVar Ball was given a fine warning about his behavior. I can picture Lonzo's secondhand embarrassment there. Poor guy. What can you do when your dad decides to take matters into his own hands? While this fight didn't affect anyone that much, some of these feuds end up having some serious consequences. And the Russell Westbrook versus Patrick Beverley feud is an example of that. Beverley, the feisty guard for the Lakers, caused a career-ending injury to Westbrook back in the 2013 NBA playoffs. Yeah, it was quite a collision. Westbrook ended up tearing his meniscus and had to sit out the rest of the playoffs. But despite this incident, Beverley and Westbrook have been at each other's throats for years. It's like a never-ending fight, you know? Another fight between them occurred during a regular season game in 2019. As Westbrook was attempting a three-point shot, Beverley, playing defense, lunged towards him and caused Westbrook to land awkwardly. The two exchanged heated words, and tensions escalated to the point where both players had to be separated by teammates and officials. These two got pretty angry against each other over the years, but they actually ended up being good teammates later on. That was unexpected, just like no one expected Kelly Oubre to charge at Kelly Olynyk. In the 2017 NBA playoffs, tensions were running high between the Celtics and the Wizards. The series was already filled with intense matchups and physical play, but things reached a boiling point during Game 3. Oubre, a rising star for the Wizards, found himself at the center of the storm. In the second quarter, Olynyk set a hard screen on Oubre. Fueled by the intensity of the playoffs, Oubre felt that the screen was delivered with excessive force and lost his cool. Without hesitation, Oubre immediately charged toward Olynyk, shoving him with great force. It was a moment of pure adrenaline and frustration as Oubre let his emotions take over. The fight quickly escalated, with players from both teams rushing in to separate them. The incident resulted in Oubre being ejected from the game and receiving a one-game suspension from the league. It was a costly moment for Oubre and the Wizards, as his absence undoubtedly affected their performance in the series. This heated clash between the two sparked intense debates among fans and analysts. Some defended Oubre's actions, arguing that it was a natural response to physical play, while others criticized him for crossing the line and risking the team's success. A feud between players happens all the time, but when it affects the team's success, that's a huge no-no. In the 2016 NBA Finals, the Warriors were on fire, leading the Series 3-1 against the Cavaliers and smelling victory for back-to-back championships. But then Draymond Green got hit with a controversial suspension for Game 5. You see, in the previous game, Green got tangled up with LeBron James in a heated moment. LeBron managed to shake Green off and even tried to step over him. Well, let's just say Green didn't take too kindly to that and swung his arm at LeBron, giving him a good old groin shot. The action itself might not have seemed suspension-worthy, but Green had been racking up flagrant points like it was nobody's business. That tussle with LeBron gave him his 4th flagrant foul point, and on top of that, he had gotten 5 technical fouls throughout the playoffs. So the NBA gods decided enough was enough and dropped the hammer on him. Without Green, the Warriors were like a ship lost at sea. They struggled to find their defensive mojo and couldn't keep up with the Cavaliers, who ended up snatching the championship right out of their hands. Talk about a major blow for the Warriors. So there you have it, guys, from Draymond Green's argument that cost the Warriors the finals to the Joel Embiid versus Russell Westbrook feud. Those were the NBA's most heated moments revealed.